Hello me lovelies, just felt the need to do this video on the latest from Smoking Sheriff on this attack on Narrative Destroyer. Now I've never had a problem with Smoking Sheriff, I haven't, but Narrative Destroyer has, as he always does, makes his views known on what he thinks of people, and then he's made his views known on what he thinks of this Scotty G situation, which I could go into, but there's no point. But what's happened is Sheriff has started going way below the belt and criticising Craig, Narrative Destroyer, as a father. He does a hell of a lot more, I can tell you now, Sheriff, than most young fathers who aren't married to the mother. I can assure you he does a hell of a lot more. There's many kids wouldn't even know who the father was because the father just can't be bothered with them. So he does a hell of a lot more, I can tell you. But also, and this is where it gets disturbing, was that Sheriff actually was asking people to send narrative address in so that people he knows that are after him, want to hate him, can get to him. I hope that's just bravado and just bitching, because I can assure you, Sheriff, if anything was to happen to Craig, Narrative Destroyer, you know where the police will be calling first, don't you? It'll be right to your door because you're the one that's made that threat, and if you're giving his name out, knowing that he could get hurt or put him in danger, well, guess what? You are part of that danger. You are the one that's actually causing, setting up. Read up the line of causation. It's sometimes called the chain of causation as well. Just read up on that. That's how, in law, you can find out who is ultimately responsible for a criminal action. And you go back to the source and who set up the chain of events. Very famous case it was, I can't remember the name of it, where someone threw a firework into a crowd and panicking, people picked up the firework one after the other and threw it away from them because they didn't want it exploding on them. Well, it eventually exploded and injured a man. Now the question was, who was at fault? The last person that threw it to get it away from them, or was it the first person who threw the firework, the initial person who threw it into the crowd? Well, the person who got the blame was the person that threw it into the crowd, but for the fact of them doing that, other people wouldn't have been throwing the firework to get away from them, to stop themselves being injured. So it was the one who originally threw it was prosecuted for it. And if you're asking for his name, if you're asking for his address, to give to people that want to harm him, guess who is the one that has set up the events that have led to that attack? You don't have to have attacked him. You just have to have been the major party in that setup. So I'll let you sleep on that and think about it. But you don't have to go that low with someone. Grow up, it's YouTube. I bitch all the time with people and they bitch back, and you just have to take it. As long as it doesn't get to physical threats or threats of harm. Who cares? But sleep on that.